It'd be good now to finish this game up. Our goal is to finish this game.
Nature provides.
I've spotted something.
Please return. Oh, pilgrim.
May Lucian return.
The prayer seems...
May Lucian...
May he return.
Alright.
Greetings. Or do you... Lucian's day wouldn't be the...
Hey, me for... Divine Lucian.
I pledge my heart, O Lucian.
Dead. She seemed so confident.
Dead.
Something closed the door. There. A switch.
A switch.
There's a curious looking... There's a slot in the center of the button. The amulet fits the slot perfectly. The mechanism, the button slowly... The source fed gears. A nearby hatch in the floor unsealed.
Okay. Now, the ambulance go off. Okay, now we're here. Okay, now, this part, you need, this is why you need a blood dripped in there.
Hey, Godwoken, remember me? I owe you my thanks for paving the way. When we made our little deal, I had no idea of the things you had done. I had no idea who you really were. Do you know who you really are? You think you're the divine in waiting, but you're just another pawn. A stooge for Ahu and the Seekers, those arch traitors. They're the enemies of Divinity. I am the only one left who can save Lucian. I am his holy warrior. I am the one true loyalist. I am the truth. I am the real. You are wrong. You are the mistakes. All of you are the mistakes.
A razor smile.
Yes, my...
Alright, we gotta kill him. That was quite easy.
sense something nearby.
Now, back to what I was saying. You need to drip blood in here. And then you gotta bless it. Then here.
The blessed altar seems to want to be touched in the space beyond.
Okay. Now it's a puzzle you got to figure out. Which you need to get the blood into the blood one. The holy fire with the holy fire. And the death fog. No, the whisper into the whisper. Okay. Oops. Now, lay it upon your hand. Now, if you do this, look down at it, you can actually see slowly traveling. Okay. Now we can enter. Now this is probably going to be the hardest part because now you have to spell the word power while fighting and trying to avoid death fog at the same time. Yeah. Now it's Losa's turn.
Adventure, no blood need not be. To cross this threshold is to very well.
Alright, now we can go in. Now we got to spell the word power. So we gotta look for, so here's the E, here's the W, there's the P, O, and R. Now, I'm kinda...
Careful now. That's a trap.
position myself. It doesn't matter which order, I believe.
Moving to involuntary death assistant.
It's like that movement did something. Works. Smells something shit behind it.
Moving to noxious atmosphere enabler.
Another one. How many more could there be? I'm ready. Worked. I hear gears moving.
Moving to hazardous concoction generator. Moving to orifice manipulator. Moving to orifice manipulator. Orifice manipulator. Active. Combat in progress. Seeking damage opportunities.
That did something. I could feel it.
Moving to hazardous concoction generator. Hazardous concoction.
That must have been the last lever.
Yep. It's that simple. For this part, at least. This last part is probably going to be the hardest part. Especially when it's just...
The truth hangs heavy upon the air itself, unspoken.
This is the last part. So, in this last fight, I'm not going to speak at all. I'm going to let it just play out. I'll be unplugging my mic so there won't be no conflicts at all. Alright.
Come here often. Looks like the big moment has finally arrived. I will do everything I can to support you, Godwoken. I will pray for you. I think you'll need it. Don't underestimate. Consider it. Of course, it's up to you.
Malady.
Alright,
Looks
so
like my investments paid off.
You've shown me kindness.
I've always preferred.
Now go.
alright, so there was supposed to be one more guy. I think there's supposed to be one more guy that shows up. So this is the end, so I am going to unplug my mic and let the dialogue play out.
Godwoken. Dallas told me about you. You must be as hard as your divine.
The divine youth.
What a twist.
I just realized I need to quick load real quick. I forgot to put the weapon on, which you get only a one-time use of using it. So I don't want to pass that opportunity up. So let's get into, and just remember, I've beaten this game without using this weapon, so there's a possible way you could still beat it. So I quick load, so which is right before I go down to the end. So alright. Yep.
The truth.
Alright. 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 care.
Come here often. Looks like the big moment. Don't underestimate. Consider it a of course is a
Malady
looks like my own.
You've shown me kindness.
I've always now go.
Alright, let's end this. This will be the last time. Alright. Here we go.
God woken. Dallas told me about you. You must be as hard as diamonds, and twice as bright, to have come so far. Your divine welcomes you.
The divine you thought dead lords over the chamber from a granite throne. He moves to speak, but it's Riedeman's voice that next pierces the air.
What a twist.
Lucian frowns at Riedemann, then turns to the silent monk standing near and smiles widely.
Oh, Gareth. He was always so devoted, and so stubborn. In this form.
I underestimated you, Godwoken. You have proven to be a formidable foe. You have my respect.
Respect? Indeed.
Lucian's gaze rests upon you and goes through you. He takes your measure entirely.
Lucian, we should tell him the truth.
Yes, I agree. It is time we dropped our masks.
Dallas nods, then reaches for the sides of her head. Where there was one face, suddenly there are four. She takes off the mask of the shapeshifter. A skull is revealed, bejeweled and ancient as the void.
I am eternal.
Aren't they just full of surprises?
Fear not, Godwoken. Dallas is on the side of all that is good. She is helping me rid Rivellon of the influence of the Source. Listen to her.
I shall tell you the tale as I told it to Lucian. Long ago, the scholar Fane discovered that the veil between the world and the void was made of Source. Our 7 lords desired this power.
Of course.
Silence, slave. Our king forbade the 7 to reach for this power, but they didn't listen. Instead, they rebelled and sent the king and his people into the void.
With the Source they stole from the veil. The 7 created the races so they would have worshippers.
During their lives, worshippers collect Source. When they die, the gods feed from them. It's an ingenious system.
Our souls are nothing but vats for the Source-hungry gods.
The 7 made a mistake. By taking its source, they tore a hole in the veil, and it is through this hole that the void finds its way into our world.
The 7's lust for power let in the void. Our goal is to close the hole they created. When we are done, there shall be no more Source in the world. Rivellon will be finally free from the gods that enslaved them.
My people cannot be allowed to return from the void. They are tarnished. They are void-woken. They can only bring chaos and death and...
There is more, but she hesitates to share it. Then she decides that she must.
I was a child when the God King tore my family apart. I was purged of Source and left to rot in a putrid tomb. A child. It was hell. A hell I suffered for the sins of my father. He was the one that betrayed the God King. He was the one that told the 7 the secrets of the veil. The cruel joke of it all is that the same tomb that housed my tortured body is what sheltered me from the void. Few Eternals escaped that fate. Myself, my mother, and my father, the scholar Fane. But now I finally have revenge. Revenge on the 7 and the God King. Revenge for what they took from me. My life. My people. My mother.
The hammer's voice falters and her coolness vanishes. Every crack and rasp betrays her grief. But her next words burn not with sadness, but anger.
He never even looked for me. He never even looked for her!
Dallis, control yourself. Our purpose transcends your personal wounds.
Yes. You are right.
Dallas's reasons weren't mine to question. All that ever mattered to me was peace. Peace for Rivellon. Peace for me, whatever the means. And now, we are on the precipice.
She sacrificed herself for the betterment of Rivellon. She didn't do it willingly, mind you. Curiosity led her to the tomb. My hunger for source took care of the rest. I presume her bones remain there. And then I took her place. Face rippers are such marvels, aren't they? It didn't take long to realize that Lucian was the key to my vengeance, and I was the key to the salvation of Rivellon.
While Dallis sought the Aetherin, I started draining the gods of their source.
Slurp, slurp, slurp.
One more word from you, and I shall use the leash.
I had to hide from the gods. So I had the walls of this crypt equipped with tenebrium and protections put in place. It worked. Everyone, even the gods, thought me dead. As divine, I was created, empowered to stop the void. I was the avatar of the Seven, their strength and their weakness. My bond to them allowed me to drain them of their source.
Maggot. I am no slave.
With a flick of her wrist, Dallis sends a jolt through Brachus's body. He writhes in pain.
Don't worry, he's well under control. He has made a fine servant. Isn't that right? Ingrate. I used him to find the Aetherin. When we're done, I'll release him from his duty and free him from his pain. Until then...
Dallis punctuates her statement with another wrist flip. Brachus shudders, but his lips remain curled in a self-satisfied grimace.
Yes, in a sense. When the death fog was unleashed, many elves died. With fewer elves to worship him, Tias and Dilius weakened. This gave the God King his first real foothold back in the world. To strengthen himself, he sent his Voidwoken, the remnants of my people, to hunt down the sorcerers seeking to reclaim their source.
The Voidwoken. Disgusting things. They ravaged the land they touched and infected the air they breathed. They were also an incredible stroke of luck. You see, blaming the sorcerers for Voidwoken made them easier to capture.
The Aetherin now contains almost all of the source the Seven stole. Soon, we will be able to heal the Veil.
The void shall be banished, and I, Lucian the Divine, shall return from the dead. A false divine, of course. I shall have no power. But the world will not know this. I shall demand peace, and we shall have it.
The plan is almost complete.
We have made so many sacrifices, Godwoken. All of us. Of ourselves and those we love. One last sacrifice is required. For the future of Rivellon, you must surrender your source.
Decide. Be the true hero and give up your source, or be forced to submit. Like a coward. Like a slave.
There is no other way. The source of the world is required to close the veil. All of the source. We only lack yours.
As I say, one last sacrifice is required. Yours. Then let us proceed. Show some responsibility. Surrender your source.
You'll be a hero. Everyone will know of the sacrifice you'll make. Your name will be synonymous with the survival of Rivellon.
Don't let them do this to us.
I understand. Sacrifice takes courage. But I shall help you. Though it pains me, your sacrifice shall be made for you. Dallas.
I'm sorry. You've come such a long way, but there is too much at stake. This is the end.
poorly, Dallas. Good. I call on the God King. Come, claim what is yours.
How? What? You are unleashed!
Wiedemann cackles in delight at this turn of events. His unbridled glee slithers into your veins and throttles your heart.
You left the leashing wand next to me, you stupid maggot.
Kill him!
Do shut up, you tedious buffoon. And don't look so surprised. As if I would allow that bone-bag Dallas to enslave me. Me?
This is not the time for talk.
Too late, you mouldering, blight-stained pigs. Grant me power. You dare interrupt Brachus Rex? How novel. Who are you to challenge the Source King? Ah! You are the fetid dirt on my boot. You are nothing at all. I am the Source King. I... The God King hears my call. He sends a companion worthy of my... Come to your father, my pretty... Come to the Source King!
Lucian struggles to rise, but the weight of his own pain leaves him to gravity's mercy.
My time is done. But your source burns so bright I'm all but blinded by it. Be wise and true, Godwalker. I am no hero, but wisdom and truth. These are values I always believed in.
Dallis groans in pain.
I have failed. The future of all that is rests on your shoulders.
This is it. I can hardly believe it.
She casts her gaze around the crypt in awe.
After everything we've been through, after everything we've seen, here we are. Here I am. And now that I see godhood before me, I know what I have to do. Chief, you need to ascend. There's no one I would trust with this responsibility but you. I know you'll do what needs to be done, what ought to be done. And I know you'll do it with style.
Her eyes flash and sparkle with tears. She quickly wipes them away and feigns kicking you down a road.
Back at you, Chief. Always. Now go on. Shoo.
You think back on your journey here, on all that you have seen and done. You think of the Magisters, and the sorcerers they hunted, and of the good and the evil on both sides. You think of how the Eternals came as Voidwoken to reclaim their stolen world. You look at the source around you. The power is immense. Divinity at your fingertips. You think of what you could do with such power. The rights you'd wrong, the wars you'd win. You marvel at your journey and how it has changed you. You think of those you left behind, and of those you met along the way, who stood by you, or against you. It's time to choose your fate, and the fate of all you hold dear. What shall it be? Shall you be divine? After all that you have been through, and all that you have done, all that you have become, the Aetheran lies in front of you. Divinity is yours to take, or to sacrifice. What you do next decides your own fate and the future of the world. What shall you do with Divinity?
So it ended. A tale that began with my own ill-fated attempt to rid the world of the Godwalker. A new divine rose, a true heir to the Seven, more powerful than ever, and united Rivellon in its battle against the Void. All across the realm he was loved, worshipped, and adored. Humans, lizards, elves, and dwarves all rallied to his banner. The Great Allegiance stood once more, but the war continued. From the depths of the void, the God King still sought to return. As for me, I was freed of the God King's terrible tyranny. I avoided an eternity of pain and suffering. Now I fight for the other side. Now, I fight for the divine.
Now, that was a journey Alright. Now we can get to talk to everyone here before we end it.
Malady stands tall and proud, sunlight sparkling off her mask. From here she looks almost angelic.
Well, here we are again. You, me, and the ship I've saved from ruin for your personal benefit. I'd say you owe me, but why state the obvious? Let an eye fool, your holiness. I expect it's the last we'll see of each other for some time.
She turns to you, arms crossed, and grins.
Look at you. Magnificent. The same way I do everything, of course. Demonic guile.
She fingers the mask, covering her face. For a moment, it seems as though she's about to remove it. But instead, she places a hand on your shoulder.
We've come a long way together. I did my best by you all the way. I sacrificed much. I'd give even more to see you become exactly what you've become. Soon, I'd like to have a little chat about something you can do for me. But I believe that can wait. Relax. Enjoy. I certainly plan to do the same. Oh, I don't know, around and about. Treat myself to some mead, a lover or 300. I'd say we've earned it. And when the time comes, I'll come find you, Your Holiness.
Well, well. Look what the cat dragged in. A god, no less. And me in no state to shake hands. Divinity suits you. Though I know of one it might have suited even better.
Beast Spirit smiles as you approach, and begins to sing a tune you think vaguely familiar.
You hear the wild beast just sails on the ocean, he's docked in the bay and coming your way. Off on the yawn you hear the commotion, he's docked in the bay and coming your way. The cupboard can't hide you, nor can your berth. His daggers don't care about the gold that you're worth. He'll bury your bones neath a mountain of earth. He's docked in the bay and coming your way.
He pauses, then continues to hum, all the while working his ghostly whiskers.
Well, if it isn't the new Divine gracing me with his presence. Now, that is the question, isn't it? How does one top the greatest feat of necromancy ever conceived? I might have the answer to that. Tell me, have you ever heard of Gustavgen? No, of course you wouldn't. It's a written language, unreadable to most, but myself naturally. It comes from a mysterious race from another world, beings that feed on minds. I intend to seek them out. This Gustavgen seems to guard portals to their realm. And once I've uncovered one, well, why settle for being the greatest mind in just one world, when there's another for the taking?
You're the new Divine. That's so cool. What's it like?
Han stares at you for a moment.
Awesome. There's also the matter of my payment for all the stuff I've done for you. That'll be...
He taps his fingers and mouths silently while he counts, until he arrives at an acceptable figure.
1,300,000 dozen and 50 gold pieces. Now pay up. Oh yeah? What's that?
Han ponders your suggestion for all of a second.
Okay, I love being all sneaky and shh. Well, yeah. But you better believe the bill for that will be a doozy.
I've never been fond of what the Divine stands for, but I must say, it's rather exciting to say I've been up close and personal with one. Reform my ways? How adorable. No, I'm afraid I cannot escape who I am and what I've done.
Her eyes flick down to your mouth. She smiles coyly, then slinks forward to kiss you. Almira pouts in disappointment, but it quickly morphs into a devilish grin.
Oh, no matter. We'll always have our first kiss. I haven't been quite able to put it out of my mind. Just as I'm sure you won't be able to put me out of your mind. Who knows? A nice cottage someplace quiet for Mahalia and I. A roaring fire and a feather bed. Maybe. Maybe. But a girl needs some fun, doesn't she?
A slight grin crosses the spirit's face. Whether her smile is sincere or not, you can't be sure.
I see great potential in our new divinity. I don't expect to be disappointed.
I suppose it's time for me to explore a new form of eternity.
Now here we go.
Oh my, you! Look who it is! Our brand new Lord and Savior.
She curtsies low and looks up at you with a grin.
So, what's your first order of business? End world hunger? Instigate world peace? Send all spiders back to hell where they belong? Can it? Sometimes I think this realm of ours is cursed. You look alive, oh Divine One. I'll bet this place keeps you on your toes. Big job. I'd offer to help, but I've got some business of my own to attend to. Ding ding ding! My loot calluses are all but worn off. I'm a disgrace. So Chief, I guess this is it, right?
Her face softens.
You know, I won't forget you either. Not ever. It's not every day you fall in love with a future god, after all. You'll ace it. I'm sure of that.
As she turns from you, the whites of her eyes darken, the veins in her face go grey, and a wicked smile curls her mouth. Suddenly, it's gone again. She winks, and you're left wondering whether you saw anything at all.
See you around.
Wait.
Rosa sings.
Oh man, you can't have her do the song again, man. Well, this is the end of Divinity Original Sin 2. If you guys stay tuned and enjoyed all the gameplay, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it and enjoyed playing it through a second time as much as ever. But don't get me wrong, there will be a third time we play through when we play with Mr. Beast and the other dude. I don't know how to say his name, but those two will be joining my journey next time I play through, so stay tuned for that. And from now on, I'll catch you guys in the next video, and I hope you guys enjoy the Divinity Original Sin 2, the journey of Lord Motow.
I am here to serve, Master, in this realm and any other, for as long as I must.
She is full of surprises. My wood was splintered, but my spirit intact. It was a great feat. But
I cannot say whether the future brings peace or pain, but I am bidden to serve you, as promised once and promised eternal. And so, as always, I am at the ready.
You look out to the endless beyond. The sun's light plays upon the waves, just as it always did. The sails flutter in the wind, just as they always will. And yet, something is different. You are different. And with a start, you realize where you must go next. You speak the command to the Lady Vengeance, and another chapter begins. War raged on. The ancient empire of lizards became one of the pillars of the new divine alliance. The houses of war and of shadows were particularly useful in the fight against the god king. The empire used the war to expand its territory. Justinia returned to her throne. Under her rule, the Dwarven kingdom fought for the divine, and her loyalty was unquestionable. Many fine and courageous dwarves did their people great honor, in battle and in death. With Lucian gone, the elves reluctantly rejoined the Divine Alliance. Their place in the war on the Void would entirely depend on the integrity of the new Divine. And here and there, across the world, what was left of the Black Ring fought on. The island of Fort Joy remained a sorcerer's paradise, a place of exile for those whose sorcery threatened to bring in the Void. For their well-being, its residents depended entirely on the benevolence of the new Divine. Reaper's Coast struggled on. The farms and the fisheries fought to feed the people against the Void-woken blight. The black pits took fire. The oil there burns still. Driftwood teetered on the edge of starvation until the night the Void-woken came from the sea. All were killed. This did, however, put an end to the famine. The nameless isle had vanished. Although only open water remained, by instinct ships would steer clear. None of the captains could articulate why. Young Han grew up a warrior and became one of the Alliance's greatest generals. But even he could not win the war. Almira and Mihaili settled in an abandoned homestead. The locals liked and respected Almira. She never wanted for help, and deals always fell to her favor. Outsiders were often suspicious, but no local would speak against her. With a new divine at the helm, Malady had a powerful ally, but she was in no hurry to call in her favor. After all, it might be the last thing she ever did. Having performed the greatest act of necromancy in history, Tarquin found the new world unchallenging. He became obsessed with rumors of another plane of existence. One day he vanished and was never seen again. The undead priestess Gratiana remained in her sanctuary, happy to wait for the war to pass. She was troubled only by the silence of her goddess. Changed by his experience with the Godwoken, Mordus proved a useful tool in the fight against the Void. The Alliance quickly learned to keep him away from ordinary soldiers for the sake of morale. Jehan the demon hunter never stopped hunting for demons. Sahala sought to strengthen the Elven alliance with the new Divine. Her powers of sight proved useful in the ongoing war against the Void, but she could never be sure that the new Divine trusted her. Tova, her mother, was Sahala's most trusted warrior. Lohse returned to her music and enjoyed a storied career as the Divine's premier musician. Dark moods would still overtake her, and she would spend long hours walking in the wilds. She always returned with a new song. And then there was you. For how much of this do you take credit or blame? And what kind of divine were you as the world battled on? Did you show mercy or strength? Did you sacrifice others as Lucian had done? Did you regret becoming divine? Should you have given your soul and sealed the veil? Only you know the truth. Only you know if you atone for your sins.
night is dark. Come to me, the night is long. Sing for me, I'll sing along. Sing for me, oh sing for me. Come to me.